So Korea, right? The current uneasiness over North Korea has a lot of people wondering, what's the background? In American history, one of the tougher parts of the 20th century is the war in Korea from 1950 to 1953. That happened during the presidency of Harry Truman, right as the Cold War was getting started. After World War II, Korea, which had been occupied by the Japanese, was divided along the 38th parallel, creating two separate nations, North and South Korea. The Russians held more influence over the North, and, as it turned out, communism influenced the leader there, Kim Il-sung. He's the grandfather of the current leader, Kim Jong-un. The Americans supported South Korea for the reason they supported most everybody in the 20th century. They weren't communist. The leader there was a man named Syngman Rhee. So when the communists from North Korea invaded South Korea and reached the capital Seoul in a matter of only a few weeks, President Truman had the U.S. go to the United Nations, and the Security Council voted to support action in South Korea, although the Russian UN guy wasn't there. The result was a successful implementation of the policy of containment, most commonly known as the Truman Doctrine, the idea of keeping communism from spreading into non-communist areas. Under the leadership of General Douglas MacArthur, the communists were pushed back into North Korea, and everything looked like it would be fine and dandy there, except Truman was not really pleased with being pegged as soft on communism, because China had become communist in 1949. Once the Americans were ordered into North Korea, that got the attention of the Chinese, who came in with 1 million volunteers, and many lives were lost in the ongoing conflict. Although the Korean situation was called just that, a situation, and never an actual war because Congress didn't vote to go to war, 1.8 million Americans fought, and over 50,000 of them died. North Korea and China lost over 2 million people. Many civilians died, most of those women and children. General MacArthur increasingly disputed President Truman's orders, publicly doing this. Eventually Truman would relieve the commander of duty. President Truman's popularity took a nosedive because of the Korean situation, and he would go off into the sunset after 1952. The Korean conflict marked the first time that the Cold War had reached into East Asia, which would certainly be a key battleground in the future. So unlike Vietnam, Korea did continue to remain divided, which we're still seeing the effects of today. It also marked an increase in presidential power as Truman became the first of many, every president until currently, to order military action without the consent of Congress. Finally, Korea also marks the change in history when wars seem to become unwinnable conflicts. No longer would there be a clear-cut winner and loser in battles, as we would see in Korea, Vietnam, and on and on. If you have a topic you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more videos from USA History Vlog.